Hi guys, just checking. Hi guys, I'm Mr. Antz from Mr.Antz Studios and welcome to this Saturday evening stream. And yeah, it's been a while streaming because last month I was totally working on a project, so I was not able to stream, but we are back. That's the most important thing. And yeah, let's start with I have a lot and lot of tricks and tips to enhance your workflow, and some tricks you might have not know. Hi Lakshmita, hi. And yeah, um yeah yeah. And before going to that, I just want to show the work I have worked in the last month. So just I show it here itself. You might have seen in my Instagram or YouTube, or if you're not, just see it. It will look to times. Yeah, I think hope you like it. And yeah, I worked on that completely last month completely. And yeah, a lot of work has been put into that. First I started with the foreground and tried different textures. First of all, I want some, what to say, reflective mud on there, but it didn't work as because there's a lot of challenges in completing this project. There's still some bugs in between the project, but at the end of the day I'm pretty happy with the result. Yeah. And I have modeled as much as possible the objects, and I also use some assets like trees, rocks, because it's really um, time consuming process. So it's easy to use some assets, because if we want to, rocks are easy, but trees means we have to scatter and lot of leaves, and that's a huge job. So yeah, hi, thank you. And yeah, today the basic stream is not too ambitious or something like that. Just gonna chill and learn some tricks in C4D, which I learned in recent days. And yeah, and how you guys are doing, just let me know in the chat. Mm, let me open the C4D. Standard. Mm. Just I'll change the screen to C4D screen. Yeah, I hope the four guys join. And if you are new to the stream, just get me clear. And my name is Santo Abhishek, and also known as Mr. Antz. Hi, Priya. Moderator is in the chat, so if you have any questions, he will also answer in the chat. And yeah, my name is Santo Abhishek, aka Mr. Antz. And yeah, I basically work with C4D and Agno. I also know Maya, but I prefer C4D more than Maya, and I'm really planning to deep dive into Unreal Engine in following days. There will be some Unreal Engine, what to say, streams, and yeah, mm, and also I'm doing this for a year or so, and yeah, let's continue with it. Just let me know that the sound is good and also the background sound is good. I've changed the background audio because all these streams I'm keeping the same audio, so I changed the music. So yeah, actually just I will show the first trick. Therefore guys, just keep the chat active, guys, so it will be really cool. Don't go anywhere, just keep the chat active. And thanks for joining, guys. Yeah. Where this hearing a little bit of song will be good. Yeah, actually this is the render I think it's visible. This is the render I made yesterday, not yesterday, today. I started yesterday and I'm doing now. And yeah, I just want to make sure that how I made the lake water, because it's need a little bit of problem solving, because you can see that it has some foam in the water, because water has some foam. And I made the shader in Arnold controller. Basically I use Arnold, and you can use whatever software, whatever the end result is going to be same. Yeah. And yeah, there are two towers. So I'm just gonna tell you how to make that. So awesome hospital. Yeah, it's not about learning what to say, using what software. Anyway, actually learning multiple software is really good, and it will what to say, really an advantage for you. I know two softwares, and I also want to learn Unreal, and it's really having another software in our bag is really an advantage. And yeah, there's also another guest join the chat. And if you are learning C4D, be here till the end so you can learn some tricks and tips. So yeah. So let me tell you how to make that ocean shader and also the plane. So let me start with it. First, I start with creating a plane. Target scaled up. Not want an exact measurements. Just gonna be rough. But first we have to just change the segments to 100 and 100, because it need a lot and lot of what to say subdivisions to make that wavy thing. If we can do with 10 and 10 polygons, but it will not get that lot of displacement. That's why. Actually, now let's make it editable. If we click C, it will, it's the shortcut, and plus shift is for what to say, making some objects as the child of an object. So clicking shift, let's add a displacer modifier, not modifier, it's a deformer. And yeah, now let's add a noise. Yeah, I think, yeah, now itself it look like water, but it needs lot of details. So let's continue with it. Let me scale up the global scale to 3000. And also the animation speed to like 3. And if you see, you can see a little bit of animation in there. And also you can change the what to say speed and contrast. Contrast means it will what to say, it will create some depth. Oh, I see. Actually, if you're working in what to say, a job, you should use the software with your company still. But if you're doing independent, or yeah, if you're doing independent, you can use auto software, because nowadays blender is used a lot. Yeah. And also let's duplicate this pressure again, and let's make it 200. Now let's make it, add a subdivision surface to this thing. And now let's decrease the, see now it looks cool, but still there are a lot of ripples. So let's scale the up, and also it's in the center. Make it like this. See, that should be. Hi Jay Kumar. Hi. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah. And just playing out with the settings of the displacer, so you can get the exact result what we want. And also I think also I have the project file. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. Yeah. It's kind of doing this. After that, see, now it looks good. It should have two motion, the overall motion and also, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, there should be also secondary motion. That's why we are having two displaces, because there are primary ripples in the water and also the secondary motion is overall motion. So without this, if you see, only the water ripples will move. It's like, just like, it's not realistic. But if you add this, look at the wave, there are some secondary motion, so it looks very cool. And I think the small ripples need much more scale, so let's increase that. And we can change the scale type to something like sparse convolution. Actually, yesterday I was working with that only. That's that. Why it's playing back slow is I am having a subdivision surface, that's why it's slow. See how it looks, it's very cool. And also if you create a shader, just a minute, I go to this one and add a standard surface, and it's going to be, and first thing I will do is I will increase the index of reflection. IOR means index of reflection, and every object has a different index. So yeah, I will reduce the roughness completely, because there is no roughness in the water. And after that I will add a little bit of transmission, because if it's too transparent, what to say, it will not receive that light and color, so we should have a little bit of transmission, like about 5. And we can set the color to whatever color we like, but I will go with green because lake water color is green, and basically the water color is basically green and blue in the whatever lighting we get. So after this, when we apply this texture to the thing, it will look really cool. But I'm not gonna render and show to you guys, because if you already know about the stream, my system is under some problems, so it will be not good if we render here itself, and that's why. And also I just want to clear that soft body simulation is really a memory consuming simulation, because it can't simulate a lot and lot of polygons, and it will slow your PC, and sometimes it won't simulate, and if we simulate also, it will take a ton of time to cache it. So I have a simple and easy method to simulate any object, even if it has million polygons. You can simulate it with soft body simulation. So let me show that. Let's create a figure like this. You can simulate with any character. That's the idea. Let me lift it up. Connect object. Yeah, actually now what we gonna do is we should create a low poly cage to this. So actually I'm seeing the chat and I'm talking, that's why I'm seeing here, so don't worry about that. And we are gonna create a really rough and low poly cage to this object. Like this. Let's go into the wireframe view and let's create this. And yeah, actually I'm creating a low poly cage to this figure. Actually, if you see the polygons of this figure, it will be 3206. Even if it's million polygon, we can simulate it. And if you see the polygons of this, it's just 26. It's 3000 polygons are saved, so, and still a little bit of modeling has to be done. Let's extrude this out. And thanks for joining, guys. Tell something in the chat. After I'm finish showing this how to create this simulation, I'll talk about some Unreal Engine stuff and virtual production stuff, and also I have to tell you about what to say, some kind of thing which we can communicate about visual effects and all this stuff. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I think it's good. It just has 52 polygons, so it's really cool. And now let's start with doing the simulation. I'm not gonna simulate the figure now to show you how it will simulate. It will not simulate, and it will show our PC, and it will. I think it will interrupt the stream. So I'm not gonna do that. There are still 4 of them in chat, and yeah, we're gonna simulate. Actually, this is a low poly cage to that object, so we are going to use this as a cage. So we're going to simulate this, and it will affect that high poly object also. That's the idea. If you don't know to make a ragdoll, you can also do this technique to make this effect. So just see this. So let's add a mesh modifier, the deformer to the figure, and drag this low poly cage to the cages and hit initialize. Now the low poly cage will disappear, and there will be some wireframes over there. So you might have to understand the concept here itself. It has become a cage, so if you simulate this, it will automatically affect the figure also. So let's add a soft body simulation tag to this. Not this, sorry. Let's add the soft body simulation tag to the cube, the low poly cage, and let's add a corridor body tag to the, let's save simulation. Yeah. And now let's bake the, no, I'm not gonna bake. Let's see how actually I think the low polygon count is the reason why it's not restored. Let's increase this. Let's subdivide this thing. I think we need to hit initialize again. Now see this. There will be some artifacts like that, but we have to play with the settings to get it right. And yeah, so we will just delete this mesh layer. And if we, actually the low poly, this is really a rough low poly cage. If we still play with the low poly cage, it will be really better. Yeah. Let's select these things. Yeah, I think now it will fit right. And let's add again add a mesh. If we simulate now, I don't know why these artifacts are coming. Let's see here. Actually, this, what to say, why it's happening means the cage is coming really close to the object, that's why. So let's again delete the deformer, and let's extrude this up. Not extruding, yeah, it's intersecting, that's why. So now we have to just play with the settings, and now it will be right. Now let's add a mesh deformer, and let's drag it to this. And now if we simulate, and again it's the artifact is happening. There are still 4 of them on stream, and I think it's going really cool. And just be here guys and tell something. And it's not, if you didn't delete the things, yeah, I think now it will work perfect. So let's add the next deformer. Oh, see, let's drag it to this and initialize. I think now it will work right. Yeah, it's perfect now. Yeah, now actually if you don't know how to make a ragdoll, it will be really helpful because it's an easy way. And just see this. Let's scale it down, and it's in first frame, and just create a keyframe in first frame and also create a in last frame. And now let's give a collider body tag to this, and if you play, see guys, it's really awesome now. Actually, I think you got it. The low poly cage is simulating the object. If we directly simulate that figure, it will not simulate. It will just show your PC and your software will get hanged. So it's a really cool trick. And if you don't know what's happening here, I'm Mr.Antz from Mr.Antz Studios. I'm working in C4D now, and yeah. Yeah, it's going well. Just let me know the stream is going well and good. And yeah, let's minimize this. And you might have seen this Chappy robot, and I'm really happy with that because you can see my first robots and all. This is a robot, and this is a small robot, and this is the first robot I ever modeled. I modeled this seeing a tutorial, a course, and after that modeling the Star Wars, what to say, Stormtroopers. I think it's profile. Just on this. Yeah. After modeling that, I made this Boston robot and this Iron Man, this astronaut, and robot dog, Megaforce robot, and yeah, finally this Chappy robot. Actually, the basic thing to model any kind of robot is just going with reference. You should see some reference to make something really cool and accurate. That's the basic thing. And if you are joining new to the stream, hi, and yeah, and also I just give a brief introduction to texturing in C4 in Outnode renderer, and yeah. Actually, you can simulate any objects like this. Even it's a million polygon object, you can just simulate with this easy technique. So I hope this will be helpful to you guys. And next, let's create a shader first, and we'll go into the open network editor. Yeah, let's import some textures like, how to say, let's import these textures. These are some barrel textures I got in 3dtextures.com. There are on a lot of awesome websites, and also there is Texture Heaven, and if you can get a subscription to Pixel Mega Scans. Actually, after this I want to tell an really important thing, so stick with me guys, don't go anywhere. Actually, let's start with things. So first, this albedo or base color, we should first connect this to the base and color, this is the colorful texture and it will resemble the object. So this is the basic texture we have to connect to the color. And now this is the height texture, so let it be last because this is displacement texture. And this is roughness, so let's take it here and just connect to the spectacular roughness input. And this is the ambient occlusion shader. And I have to be honest, I don't know how to use the ambient occlusion shader over here, but now I learned. So that also I didn't see any, what to say, anywhere. I just played with the settings and I found how to use the ambient occlusion. Basically, you have to create a ramp. If you are using Octane or Redshift, there will be an option for ambient occlusion. But here it's different process because it's different renderer, and we have to first connect the ambient occlusion output to the main input to the ramp RGB. Ramp is just a what is color ramp, not something special. And now let's connect it to the images attribute and multiply. So we can create an what to say approximity darkness. Hi friend, how are you dude? Actually, he's my friend, and I hope I'm really happy that you are here in this stream. And yeah, stick with me, dude. It will be really cool, and we can create an approximate shadows and darkness. So it will be really helpful. And this is the metallic, what to say, map. And if you are using, I have watched the tutorials and all. If you're using what to say. Octane or Redshift, there will be another what to say input to connect the shader, but here it's a bit different from all the other things. So let's connect this to metalness. You can always control the attribute with two nodes. The first one is ramp RGB node and also another node called range. I have learned it from Grayscale Ruria. It's an amazing resource. And yeah, if we want to play with this, we can connect it to the range and we can change the contrast and input minimum, or we can also connect it to the ramp RGB and connect it to the metalness and just remove this and see. It will change the metalness amount because any shader, even with a single image texture, we can create a display physically accurate shader with some tricks if you know the node, how to use the node setups. And now this is normal map. We should create a normal map node and connect this to this. We can directly connect it to the actual input, but if you want an exact result which we want, we have to connect and just crank up the settings to get the accurate result. And now we add a displacement mode, and now we can change the displacement 0.5. It's not accurate that you should give it 0.5. You can give it any attribute, but you should play with the settings. That's basically, you should not, it's not about just a fixed amount of settings. You have to play with the settings. You should crank up and crank down, and yeah, let's continue with it. Now let's create a cylinder and let's make a rough barrel shaped. Now it looks good. Let's drag. Actually, in other renderers you can directly see the shader in viewport, but we have to connect this to our node viewport to see the texture. See, it looks really cool. And yeah, let's export this up a little bit. Actually, every time you don't want to go into the rendered view, so not node view, we can just see it here itself, attribute manager. Let's increase the subdivision amount. Let's add more polygons. And let's delete this one. Yeah, it looks nice. And if you want to, let's first see the render result. See, it looks really awesome, and the displacement is pretty janky, so let's play with that. Actually, I think the subdivision amount is the problem. Now it looks good. Now we can play with the things. Let's make it 0.2. Yeah, now it looks very cool. And this is the basic method of texturing in C4D and Arnold. Actually, you can use in any software you are using in Arnold. Yeah. And I have told some tips, and I just want to just change my screen. And yeah, I want to deep dive into Unreal Engine. Last year I started learning with After Effects, and after that I was just want to go deep into the 3D stuff. So I started with C4D, but still having another 3D package, knowing it's very helpful and it will give a lot more confidence. So I learned Maya, but I started with Unreal Engine, but due to some technical problem, I I uninstalled it. But in future or following days, I will install it and I will start learning Unreal Engine. So, and if you are talking about Unreal Engine, the UE4 and UE5, that's a lot of changes. The lighting is, ray tracing is really amazing, and yeah, the nowadays the virtual production is going really like a mad kind of thing, and it's really an awesome way of filmmaking. And I also want to tell one more thing, which is there's a new app in phone called Clubhouse, and it was introduced my brother, you might have know, and he's also already come to the stream. He's amazed, and yeah, Clubhouse. And we there are little just four guys. We are talk about the filmmaking stuff, visual effects, 3D virtual production, Unreal Engine, and all kind of stuff. And if you want to talk with us in the chat, in the Clubhouse, and it's like some kind of podcast, and it's really informative and it's really fun, and yeah, that's thing. So if you want to join that, you can first install the Clubhouse app and join the thing. So that's what I want to say. And yeah, nowadays virtual production is a big deal, because if you see, all the Marvel movies are shot in green screen, and yeah, all the Marvel movies are shot in green screen, and somehow it's it has lot of technical process to make those, because they are acting in green screen. They also have the actual lighting, so this will set the lighting, and that's a lot of stuff. And yeah, and lot of stuff. Yeah, yeah. And if you use Unreal Engine to create the environment and you work with the virtual production, you get the natural lighting. And you might have seen the it's a old technique in old movies, like just playing the video in the background and they're acting in the frame. But it's the same technique, but it's more advanced, because it gives a natural lighting. It's really versatile, and it's really a new technology. And Unreal Engine is a beast of a 3D package. Actually, the difference between 3D package and Unreal Engine is totally different, because 3D package is animation software. So we have to make animation, we have to create the scenes, and we have to render out. But Unreal Engine is totally different thing. But we can't make we can make some good models in Unreal Engine, but it's not dedicated to create 3D models also in Unreal. Basically, virtual production thing, or creating games. So we have to create if you want to create a complete thing from scratch, you also want to learn another 3D package, which will be very helpful to create some highly detailed models. You can learn any package like C4D, Maya, Blender, and Blender is free. So if you are just starting with it, just start with Blender and Unreal Engine. Both are free, so it's really helpful. And yeah, our folks still in the chat. And yeah, just tell you something, guys. I cleared out some questions of yours. And yeah, I've told about the texture. Mm, and just 2 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. I just want to take some water and come. So just see the alternator for a few minutes. I will be back. So just in 2 minutes, I will be back. Hi guys, I'm back, and yeah, I just had some water, and I think there's still one more trick I want to show you guys. So just wait. And first of all, guys, just let me know that yeah, it's C40 screen. So yeah, let's scale this up and let's add some more polygons to the screen. If the stream is going well till now, just give a thumbs up in the chat. Yeah. Now let's add a collision deformer. Actually, what to say? If you see our deformers, first of all, I know bend, bulge, shear, taper, twist. I only know some deformers like explosion, jiggle, and I have not learned a lot of deformers, and now I know a lot of deformers because I played with the thing. I know, yeah. So let's start with it. Yeah, if we create a sphere and add more. Actually, if you're starting with it, you might have not know this thing, which is in C4D, and I just want to tell you guys on how to make this. And yeah, let's first start with it. Just make the restock shape to 50, and also intersect in colliders. Just drag and drop the sphere. And now let's go into the advanced thing, and let's make it the size to 3 centimeter and steps to 5. I think that's the required things. And now if you wait, yeah, I don't know whether you know. Thanks for letting me know, the moderator. Actually, I don't know whether you know this trick or not, and this is really a handy trick. If a character is walking on a snow, you can displace it like this, and it's really handy and helpful. Actually, you can see it's going down. We can change it by just playing with the settings. Just change the not fall off. If you change the object type to inside, it can't come this side. It can only go that side. See, actually this is inside, so we can change it outside to make it come up outside. And if you go, I think we should change it to volume. This is ordinary 70. Actually this is also not we want, so I think inside will be good. No, this is not what I want. C4D. Let's turn it down. Yeah. Hi, Bo. how it's deforming. Actually, it's really handy and really helpful if you are pushing this. See. Actually, if you are new to the stream, I'm just telling some tricks and tips. Not a huge stream creating an art, because I never created art. Just one time I created art because it will interrupt the stream. That's the only reason. And yeah, how it deforms. It's very cool. There's still a lot of deformers which can be really handy while working some big projects. And let me show this in the actually this is the thing. Actually I removed, first of all I kept a robot here, but this doesn't set with the scene. That's why I removed it. Just let me show. For a lot of days I was planning to make some kind of scene near the lake, and yeah. Hi bro. Yeah, this is the water lake I created. Actually I made it as a single object so it will not animate, but yeah. So I started modeling the boat and added the texture, and this is some wet mud texture. I have created how to create a texture completely before the, but you can still do a lot of things in the, what to say, with texturing. It's not about just using the PBR textures to create the texture. You can create any texture from scratch using some techniques like procedural texturing with, what to say, noise and so. And if you want to completely dive into texturing, you can use Substance Designer. It will be very handy. And yeah, I then modeled the small bridge and just added some trees here and there's some big light towers. Just a rough model because it's too far, so it's not highly detailed, and it doesn't have to be highly detailed. Just if we are too close to the thing, we. Hi Roy, how are you doing? He's my cousin, and yeah, he has joined the stream, and thanks for joining, dude. Yeah. Actually, it's been a while to stream, and yeah, this stream's going really well, and 5 guys are still sticking out with me, so thank you guys. And yeah, then I writ with some HDR. First, I tried a different technique of writing. Started with a single sky with a blue color on it, and then added a physical sky, but it didn't came out with the look I want. So I changed out the HDRI and use HDRI from HDRI Heaven, and also I have a 2 spot light and 2 area light to get some atmospheric fog. We can also use create fog with volume, and but it will slow up your system. That's why I'm using atmosphere fog. You can get a complete fog tutorial in Dizzy Viper's fog tutorial. He tells nearly 7 or 8 techniques of creating fog in the scenes. The fog will give more depth to your scene, so yeah. I have to show the alternate reality project file, but I don't know, the textures are misplaced. That's why I'm not. The project files are here, but texture is not here. Just I will show you guys. Textures are totally unlinked, but basically the scene is this only. There's a lot of things going on, guys. I worked in over a month, and it's really ambitious. And, yeah, I break down it live itself. Working on a project like this, we can't make everything ourselves. So I use some assets like, what to say, rocks and trees. And yeah, I first started modeling the trolley because I have posted a breakdown video on my channel itself. So my basic idea is to make something like reconstruction in farm or village. So that's the basic idea in my mind. So first I started with the trolley, which will be what to say, dragged by the character, and I then modeled the catapult and animated and simulated it. And first of all, I tried postmorph to leave this rework, but it didn't work. So I animated with some rigging. I rigged that lever and animated it. Mm. I simulated the rope here, which it took a really while to what to say, connect those two things. I hand animated the trolley and scattered a lot and lot of objects because it needs to be. Then I added a little pump. Actually, first I kept it as a red. Then it took what to say. It stand out, so I changed it as a black. And here are some two houses. It's not too highly detailed houses, but it's not in focus and it's back. So we don't want high detail and a little bit of animation and hack simulation, and gives more lifelike thing. And it's just a house. And I made that big sphere as a moon now. That's why I'm telling the textures are mislocated. And see, it's your ultimate scene. And if you want to see the render, I will show you guys. If you are joining new, this is the render. I'm really happy with it. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm really happy with the render. Yeah. Actually, I think the stream is going 47 minutes. I started. Now there's still three of them are with us, and I think it's time to wrap up this stream because I don't know what to do after this in the stream. So yeah, if you have any questions, I will be here for some more minutes. So if you have any questions or anything, just tell in the chat and I'll answer them. I think the chat is inactive. So yeah, that's all guys. Hope you like this stream, and if you learned something in this stream, consider subscribing. And yeah, if it's possible, like come live next week also, or I will post a video next week. And follow me on Instagram because there will be a lot of renders I will be posting. So it will be really cool. So